Learning goals. Welcome to this learning session on understanding RPI and CPI. In this course, we shall address Introduction to Index Numbers, understanding and calculating the Retail Price Index, understanding the Consumer Prices Index and trends, RPI applications, house prices and real-world scenarios, applying index numbers and calculating past prices. There will be a quiz at the end to test your knowledge.
Introduction to Index Numbers. Index numbers are statistical measures designed to show changes in a variable or group of variables over time. They are fundamental tools in economics, allowing for easy comparison of economic data such as prices, quantities, or wages relative to a base period. Without index numbers, understanding inflation or economic growth would be significantly more complex. Two of the most common and important index numbers used in the United Kingdom are the Retail Price Index, RPI, and the Consumer Prices Index, CPI. These indices provide different perspectives on the cost of living and are used for various purposes by the government, businesses, and individuals. Understanding their distinctions is crucial for interpreting economic news and policy. Understanding the Retail Price Index, RPI. The Retail Price Index, RPI, is a long-standing measure of inflation in the UK, reflecting changes in the cost of living for households. It encompasses a broad range of everyday expenses, including rental payments, food, heating, and travel costs. This comprehensive scope makes it a widely recognized indicator of general price changes. The UK government historically utilised the RPI for various financial adjustments, such as setting interest rates for student loans and indexing some government bonds. The RPI is calculated with a base year of 1987, where its index value is set at 100. This base year provides a consistent reference point for measuring subsequent price changes. RPI data analysis and calculation. Analyzing RPI data over time reveals trends in inflation and the changing purchasing power of money. For instance, comparing RPI values from different years allows us to calculate the percentage increase in the cost of living. This calculation is vital for understanding how prices have evolved and for making informed financial decisions. To calculate the percentage increase in RPI from one year to another, the formula is RPI in later year, RPI in earlier year, RPI in earlier year, 100. Using the provided data, the percentage increase in RPI from 2006, 198.1 to 2016, 63.1, is calculated as 263.1, 198.1, 198.100, which equals 32.8%. This significant increase highlights the cumulative effect of inflation over a decade. The Consumer Prices Index, CPI. The Consumer Prices Index, CPI, is another key measure of inflation, widely used across the UK and internationally. While similar to RPI in measuring changes in the cost of living, a significant distinction is that CPI excludes housing costs for owner-occupiers, particularly mortgage interest payments. This difference can lead to varying inflation figures between the two indices. The CPI is the primary inflation measure used by the Bank of England for its inflation target, and by the UK government for indexing state benefits, tax credits, and public sector pensions. Its base year is 2015, with an index value of 100. The exclusion of mortgage payments makes CPI more comparable with inflation measures used across the European Union, facilitating international economic analysis. This section explores CPI data and its trends over time. Understanding these trends is crucial for assessing economic health. Examining the annual average CPI data provides insights into recent inflationary pressures and periods of price stability. The table shows the annual average CPI from 2006 to 2016, illustrating how the index has changed over this period. Understanding these trends is crucial for economists and policymakers to assess the health of the economy. A notable observation from the CPI data is that there was no increase in the CPI from 2014 to 2015, with both years recording an index value of 100.0. This period of zero inflation, or even slight deflation in some underlying components, can indicate economic stagnation or weak consumer demand. Such periods are closely monitored as they can impact wage growth and investment decisions. Applying index numbers. Rail ticket example. Index numbers are practical tools for comparing price changes of specific goods or services against broader inflation measures. Consider the price of a rail season ticket from Manchester to Macclesfield from 2015 to 2017. By calculating the percentage increase in the ticket price and comparing it to the CPI, we can determine if the ticket price rose faster or slower than general consumer prices. In 2016, the rail ticket price was £188, compared to £168 in 2015. This represents a percentage increase of 1988, 100 was 1.01%. The CPI for 2015 was 100 and for 2016 was 100.7, a 0.7% increase. Since 1.01% is above 0.7%, the rail ticket price increased more than the CPI from 2015 to 2016. This indicates that rail travel became relatively more expensive during this period. Calculating past prices with CPI index numbers are also invaluable for estimating what a price would have been in a different year, given the index value for that year. This is particularly useful for historical analysis or for understanding the real value of money over time. The principle relies on the proportional relationship between the index values and the prices. To work out the price of the rail season ticket in 2012, when the CPI was 96.1, we can use the 2015 price £168 and its CPI 100 as a reference. The formula is cost in 2012, cost in 2015 equals CPI in 2012, CPI in 2015. Rearranging this gives cost in 2012 equals CPI in 2012, CPI in 2015, cost in 2015. Plugging in the values, 96.1, 100, 968 £91.25. This shows the ticket would have been cheaper in 2012, reflecting lower inflation. Real-world application. House prices and RPI index numbers are also crucial for understanding long-term trends in asset values, such as house prices, relative to general inflation. Comparing the increase in average house prices with the RPI helps determine if housing has become more or less affordable in real terms over extended periods. This analysis is vital for housing policy and personal investment strategies. The average house price in the UK increased from £40,000 in 1987, RPI base year, to £223,257 in 2017. The RPI increased from 100 in 1987 to 274.7 in August 2017. To compare these, we calculate the percentage increase for both. House prices increased by 22357, 4,000, 4,100, or 458.14%. The RPI increased by 274.7, now 100 equals 174.7%. This shows house prices significantly outpaced general inflation as measured by RPI, indicating a substantial real-term increase in housing costs.
Summary. Well done, you have completed the course Understanding RPI and CPI. You should now be familiar with Introduction to Index Numbers, Understanding and Calculating the Retail Price Index, Understanding the Consumer Prices Index and Trends, RPI applications, house prices and real-world scenarios, applying index numbers and calculating past prices. Should you need to revisit any of the topics in this course, please use the menu at the bottom of the screen.